it's clear that Iran is not happy with the Donald Trump return to the presidency. Uh, of course, Iranians now are deeply concerned, and divided on the future of U.S.-Iran relations. Uh, I can see that kind of fear inside Iran, and inside Iran, uh, Iran has like two divided, approach. The first one, it's thing, it's very important and it's essential for Iran that should really engage with Trump in terms of cooperation and try to find what we call, they can really swim together or just to be together. This is the first approach. Second approach, they think, some of Iranians, they believe that is U.S. Administration, either Democratic or Republican, never ever gonna to be happy with Iran. So basically, Iran should really prepare for kind of tough time with Trump in terms of sanction or pressure. So they need to really to understand that Trump will not be an easy guy in coming 4 years in terms of U.S.-Iran relations. But what I'm seeing, of course, Iran is a midget. It's a small country in the global politics. So, in Trump's view, to see what is next in his foreign policy, uh, Trump is gonna to focus more on China, containing China, stopping China from playing a vital role in the Middle East, in Africa, in Asia. So I think China will be the focus on Trump foreign policy. This first. Second, Trump, of course, needs to understand what is next with Ukraine. So basically, the NATO member, they need to pay, uh, like what we call, military military burden. So in terms of their sharing in NATO spending, not only United States should provide, the security goods, but Europe should really participate equally in terms of their percentage of their GDP, in terms of each country size or volume of its GDP. So Iran, of course, very nervous. Trump, the only point that can really involve in Middle East because he doesn't want to be involved too much in Middle East because Middle East is not really the essential plan for his foreign policy, outcoming foreign policy. But I think the only point that really draw and bring Trump to the Middle East if Iran and Israel uh, gonna to escalating, reaching real war or crazy war in the Middle East.
So, does the recent alleged assassination plot signal a broader shift or plays a big role in Iran's strategy towards the US?
Iran, of course, denied that claim that they were targeting Donald Trump in terms of, assassinated Donald Trump. And I think, Iran is not stupid, to be part of this kind of plot, being part of this kind of problem with the next president of the U.S. So it seems to me this is more rumors, not real. Uh, but if you really hate your enemy, you're gonna to create any story just to uh, create Iran as a big diff in that picture. But I'm not really confident that Iran even had that capacity to
Mhm.
execute or operate in the U.S. to targeting Donald Trump. So many scholars or many experts are not really believing in that story.
Dr. Singer, now you've mentioned China and how big of a role it is playing in the global dynamics. Could you see Iran deepening alliances with Russia and China? And do you think if they do deepen their relations and alliances, how might this impact the global dynamics?
Iran, as I mentioned, is not really big country in global politics or in global economy. So basically, create that alliance among China, Russia, Iran, North Korea. This is not. It's. I'm sorry. It's a nightmare for the U.S. So Trump. Uh, One of his major plan to try to divide this coalition. So he need to tackle issue each issue with each country separate. So in terms of Russia, uh, he claimed many times that he has a good relation with Putin. So this is to really cool down the potential nuclear conflict in Europe. So this is good things about Trump as a president. So this first, China, uh, I'm I'm very confident that during Trump or coming presidency of Trump, never I can really think that is China and United States gonna to involved in a war, even with that kind of situation of Taiwan. So the only war I'm expecting is a trade war between United States and China, particularly in electric vehicles. This is a very good point for Trump because this is big transition here in the United States. They need really to replace just the regular vehicles to the electric vehicle, and this is matched with Elon Musk, perspective because Elon Musk is big guy in that business of electric vehicles. So in terms of China, counter China influence in technology and trade, this is the first priority for Trump. So thinking about Iran can really add value to China or to Russia or North Korea. All these guys, Trump needs to deal with each country in a specific uh, you know aspect. So in terms of Iran, I don't think Iran can really be uh, giving or showing major threats to the U.S. interest in the Middle East, but only threats can Iran create it in the Middle East if Israel and Iran gonna to exchange fire or missiles or being in real conflict. But this is the only thing that is, Trump can really uh, working with Israel, to stop Iran. But Iran, that ambitious, to get the nuclear weapon. Uh, Iranians many times, they denied that
Hmm.
they have that ambitious. But Trump, of course,
Dr. Singer,
focusing that issue.
sir, do you feel that in order to soften or smooth the US intentions, do you see a chance for back channel diplomacy with the US being an option for Iran under the renewed pressure?
Uh, this is potential. You know why? Because Saudi Arabia, for example, in the Middle East, are a major player in the Middle East politics. And Saudi Arabia and Trump, and they have a very good relation. Particularly MPS. So China really did succeed to bring Iran and Saudi Arabia together. So Saudi Arabia going to be like a nice mediator between Iran and United States because any increasing of that tension in the Middle East going to bring Saudis very worried and concerned about that tension between Iran and United States. So this is my view to see that kind of potential tension between Iran and United States. So I'm sure that Trump going to smooth that relation with Iran, particularly using the diplomacy. This is the only option and the good options to deal with the Middle East because Middle East is not really a major threat to the U.S. Foreign policy. The only threats now is China, not Russia. So this is basically United States need to focus on China, not to focus on Iran, not to focus in Israel, unless Israel, like, oh wow, I'm in big danger, so I need your help, guys.
Hmm.
So asking Washington or Israel lobby to support Israel, uh, but in such a normal case, I don't think Trump gonna to increase that level of escalation with Iran because this is not right for his foreign policy.
Hmm. One quick question, sir. Now, under the renewed economic sanctions, how do you think Iran can cope economically with the potential economic strain?
This is a good point because Iran, used to be under that pressure more than 30 years ago. So Iran already, uh, you know, uh, uh, lived with that situation, with that environment, how
Hmm.
to survive. I'm sure this is not good for Iran, not good for Iran, GDP. Iran does need to or needs to involve in global politics, and this is what I'm seeing. The new president of Iran, open talk with Biden and
Yes.
the current administration. And I'm sure this guy gonna to pursue the same policy, try to approach Trump and try to convince Trump and his new administration that Iran needs to be in a good relation and good way of improving that relation and increase that level of trust rather than uh, increase that level of doubt about Iran intention. And Iran, as I mentioned, it's not
Yes.
really a big guy in the Middle East.